What's up, RuneScape.com? This video is going to be how to get from 0 to your first mill, as in-depth as possibly as I can make it for you new players out there, hopefully, for free to play. So the first thing you're going to want to do is make an account and get through the tutorial island. The tutorial island should be pretty straightforward. It kind of just points you in the right direction. So I'm just going to start from one of my accounts that are already done with that. So now when we're in the Lumbridge, we have all of our stuff. Okay, so the first thing I want you to do is put on your wooden shield, and I want you to switch to block. Okay, so now we have that. I'm going to do run north. Starting north, I'm going to show you the path we're going. So here's Lumbridge. If you go over to this little globe here, I guess you can't see that because my face is covering it. Down your mini map at the bottom right of it, you can open up this world map, and as you can see here, we have the world map. The first place we'll be going will be the Stronghold of Security. So the best way to get there is, for the easiest way for me to figure out how to get there, the route is like following this river north. So if you follow this river all the way north, you'll get to the Barbarian Village eventually. So essentially, you're going to follow the river as much as you can. You're going to hit this pen. You're going to go left there, then go north a little bit. Then you're going to keep following the fence line until you get back to the river. Keep following the river, follow the river, and then head west after you hit the bridge. So we're just going to go there right now. Oh, right. Sorry. So the reason why we went to block and we put on this wooden shield is to make ourselves as tankable as possible as coming off Tutorial Island. Now, some of you may have some free-to-play stats going on already, so you may not need to do that quite as much because you have more HP levels or more defense levels or something like that. So if that doesn't apply to you, it doesn't really apply. Also, too, if you have that type of progression done, you'll probably have your own set of gold already. So you'll probably be able to skip this part. If you have 50k, roughly, you'll be able to skip this part pretty indefinitely. So we're going to be going to the Gnome, or the Stronghold of Security, to make our first 10k right off Tutorial Island, because this is technically the fastest way to get 10k. And we're optimizing for that. But it is not the safest. Now, if you're scared of losing your account or dying or getting stuck or trapped or whatever, and this is too confusing to you, what I would say is to take your stuff and then don't get caught up on these dead trees, whatever. They hit you if you get stuck on them. But I would say then to you to go take your stuff right here to the Grand Exchange and sell off whatever you can sell without getting the trade restrictions off. Because there's items in your inventory here that you can't trade off because they are restricted because they're heavily botted. So essentially you can't do that yet, but you'll take like your bronze axe, your pickaxe, or something like that, maybe cut a tree down or whatever, get your first cash stack, and then go buy items from the general store. Generally, like the tools and stuff, like your chisel, tinderbox, all that stuff will sell back to the GE for like 50 times more than what you paid for it. So you can do a bunch of inventories of those and get your cash stack started. Another quick way to get your cash stack started would be picking up fish from people over here, which I kind of want to check right now to see if there's anybody cooking. Because if they were cooking, I'd come down here and I'd grab it for food to tank into the Stronghold of Security, but there is nobody there. So we're just going to go into the Stronghold of Security ourselves and then just risk it for the biscuit. But it could be in your interest to go up to the GE and maybe buy a couple extra pieces of food. Another way for you to get some food, I will grab these over here, is there's 3 beers that spawn on these tables over here. Also a cooked meat. Awesome. So we can come in here, grab this cooked meat. And also on the way up here, when you're seeing those people kill chickens, you can grab those chickens and then cook their meat on the fires as well. So I will grab a couple of these cooked meat and then maybe a beer or two. We'll just grab the beers, just for that little bit of extra food to tank. You don't need this necessarily, but you might. You never know. So each of these beers will heal 1 GP. The cooked meat will heal 3. The bread will heal 5. It's just good to have that type of stuff down here because this is technically dangerous. We are level 3 with 1 defense. With the block stat on it, we are at 5 defense. So now we're at the Stronghold of Security. We're going to be going through these doors where they're going to be asking us security questions, and you can brute force them or you can just answer the questions. Sometimes it will ask you questions, sometimes it won't. I find it easier just to answer the questions because they are pretty common sense, but it just be like that. You know what I mean? The first stage here isn't very dangerous at all, so you don't have to worry too much. You won't get aggroed by anybody. It's like this first question here. You just like it's going to ask you questions like how to not get hacked, how to get banned and stuff like that. Questions are pretty straightforward. To brute force, you can just like click and just keep clicking, and then you can get through it again. The path here for this level, I like to go. I kind of skipped this, so this is a little bit bad here, but we'll go through these doors, and then along the north side here. If you just come down, then right, and then go up to the north, and then stay along the north, you'll get down to the Gift of Peace, which will give you your first 2K. So I guess it is faster to brute force, so just brute force through them. And you just click and spam spacebar, and just keep clicking and spamming spacebar until it lets you through the door. Open the chest up, get your first 2K, then head down to the next level. It's dangerous down here, so it's not that dangerous. So if you switch your map to north, south, east, west here, we look at the map here. If you go along the north and then kind of hook south, so we'll just hang it. We'll hug the ceiling north until we can take our first left turn, and then head south, and then we'll be able to get into the next thingy-majigger. So just be careful that the zombies hit like 3, I think it is. And then the flesh crawlers hit only 1, but they are accurate. Even with high defense. Oh, so 4. Okay, so 4 is what we're gonna have to tank here. Let's eat the shrimp now just for or just to whatever. Keep on going. So after we start to get our 10K, we're gonna head to the Grand Exchange, and then when we get to the Grand Exchange, well, on our way there, we're gonna see if there's any fish laying on the ground, because then we can get an extra 3K maybe running by that. And then we're gonna head up to the Grand Exchange and start the money making process, because after we get the first 10K, what we're gonna use it on is going to be saving up money to get the quest requirements. To get trades unlocked. So boom, there's our 3K. We're head down to the super dangerous part now. So I will just show you guys the path on the minimap before we start, because I shouldn't stop when we go here. Essentially, you know, here's the map. We're gonna go through the middle here, and then just up to the left, and then we're there. So again, up, right, straight, up, left, straight. Right there, box of health. Okay. So we're going to get there. These spiders hit like 6, I think, or 7. And then the other ones also do some decent damage. Okay. He did not get the attack on me, so that'll be nice. So it looks like I over-prepared, but that's good to be over-prepared. I want you guys to have full inventory of food if possible. When you're coming down here, if this is your first time, you know, if you take a few seconds to, if you stall for a couple seconds, you can get stacked out pretty easily and like lose your life. So it's just not worth it, you know, if you don't feel comfortable. So we're about to come up to get our 10K stack here, and then we're going to go up this rope that's near it. And then if you go up it 4 times, you'll get to the surface. So we got our 5K here. And actually what I'm going to do while we're here as well is just drop the junk on the ground. Because if we're gonna be trying to go for the fish on the ground, and half this stuff doesn't sell, and most of it doesn't sell very well anyway. So I just want to examine this. Yeah, the meat isn't going to sell very well. The only thing, like, those sell okay. The beer, you know, it's 78 or whatever, but if there's a lot of raw trout on the ground, that'll sell for like 150 or 160 or something like that right now. And if not, like, I don't know. I have a thing about like trying to keep stuff neat and ordered and not like there we go. There's some raw trout. 20. Let me just price check this again to see if it's make sure that it's still, yep, 156. I should just fill up with only with just the just speed click through all of it, but Yes, it's a little silly to stop and do this, you know, whatever. If you don't feel like doing it, you know, I feel kind of silly doing it because, you know, money per hour is different to me, but just, it's a little bit extra money. It speeds up the next step a little bit. So we're just going to take the last two as salmon. It's just a little head start. It's like a little bit of extra GP to help with the pie dishes we're about to go into. Because pie dishes, making pie shells, is like one of the best money makers that it's available to free-to-play players. So that is what we're going to be doing to try to get our money started, our cash stack started to get quest items. So we'll just take all of our trout first, and we'll just put it way down, just make sure it sells immediately. So we got 38.50 there, and then we'll do the same with this pike or salmon here. Sorry, and then we're gonna figure out what a pie dish costs. It can be upwards towards 100. So, right. So, oh my gosh, it is climbing. It doesn't matter too much. So it is 95 right now. So that's kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. We'll get 100 of them right off the bat. And then we'll get a pastry. These aren't too crazy. 248 is kind of expensive. So 248. Let's just make sure that we're profiting doing this still. You want to do this every time before you really invest to make sure that it's 428. So this should still profit. So it'll be 95. So it's just shy of 100. 350. We're making like 70 each. So we'll profit per cycle here. Let me just check chocolate bars and chocolate dust, just to make sure that this isn't better right now. So we can make like 38 per each here. So if we, so how the chocolate bar method works is you will get a knife. This is what I was saying. If you buy this from a grocery store, you can make like 50 GE back. So you could switch this to use here. I'll look that up real quick to teach you guys how to do that. Okay, so I looked it up, and it's this thing called menu entry swapper. If you come into it and then go to item swaps, customizable left click, and check that box with the menu entry swapper on. So how you get there is like you on your RuneLite client, you'll bring it out. You'll come to this little wrench here, and then you'll type in menu, and then it's the menu entry swapper. You'll turn that on. Okay, so the default click is eat. So what we want to do is hold shift, right click, swap left click, use, so that we can't eat it. So then when we do that, we'll be able to like buy a crap ton of these as we can. And how this will work is we will put all these into the bank. Put this in our last slot here. And then we'll just click back and forth as fast as we can possibly manage. So this is what I want you to do on PC. If it's like whatever, if it's over 100 for the pie dish to pie shell profit, do pie dishes. But this you could, if you're on mobile, I want you to do pie dishes no matter what. So I'll just do a few inventories to show you guys this. But I'll just do pie dishes normally, and we'll just grind through those. Just to make our first 40 or 50K. We don't need very much, so we won't be doing this for very long. We just need that first initial cash. And these two are like the quickest ones to do that. So it's 86. Okay, that's not bad. Pie dishes are also a lot more AFK. So our AFK stands for away from keyboard. Kind of chill a lot more. It's not like as sweaty. Sweaty being like you don't have to try as hard. So the thing is with pastry doughs is that you'll have to worry about buy limits on the pie dishes. For pie shells, sorry. Because you can only get 500 per 4 hours. So what you'll want to do if you're going to do this long term is after you take some money, put in an offer to get, you can get pie dishes at like 30 each easily. It's the reason why it's so volatile, why it's 95 right now is because it has such a low buy limit that the prices jump around a lot. So like it's just easier for you to put the dishes, like get your initial cash first and then put it in offer long term for like 2,000 to 10,000 pie dishes if you're planning to be free to play a long time, because it is one of those methods that like you could be doing it while you're waiting for trades. You could be doing it while you're just AFK. It's AFK to the point where you don't have to put a lot of effort into it, and you will be able to just really take your time and still make money, because there's a lot of other things that are AFK in free to play that are just like booty for money per hour. But pie dishes can make you up to like 350k per hour, and that's pretty good considering that rivals a lot of the early AFK money makers for member stuff too. So this is a very good repeatable way for you to make money if you just plan a little bit. And the reason why I like it, I try to tell people about it so much, is because it requires, you know, literally no requirements, not even getting trade restrictions off to start making money doing it, except for you want to get your trade restrictions off while you're doing this, because you look more like a bot, and free-to-play players tend to get false banned pretty commonly. Like, I don't know how to have a bunch of different money makers made and stuff like, or like lined up so that you can try a bunch of different stuff, but this is like the go-to, the bread and butter for making money. And the other one here, as you can see, a lot of these people here are making high elk or doing high elk. So one of your early goals, your earliest goals for the free-to-play account should be to get high alchemy on the line as well. And now we're up to 16k here. As you can see, it multiplies pretty quickly, and you can keep just reinvesting. So I'm using a hotkey as well, using a flipping utilities, but I won't cover that here because it's not necessary. You can just kind of buy them 50 at a time or whatever you're comfortable doing. It'll work just good enough. Though it is a very convenient hotkey, but you can find out those hotkeys in my Discord down below. I have a guide and tips in there just for people to use. And you can kind of hang out in the community and learn how to make more money, learn how to flip, all that other good stuff too. Just links down below. Check out all the links down below. We got tools. My course is coming out on how to really scale up. But that's not for everybody. That's more for like distinguished players. But if you're brand new and you want to make hundreds of mil a week, I might as well plug it. Link down below to my course. It's on pre-sale right now, $49. You can make hundreds of mil a week using my methods, and it will be a step-by-step guide on how to do that. So if you're interested in something like that, where I guide you through course material, the pre-sale's on right now. I'm working on it daily to get it done and lead you through that process to make a huge multi-flipping farm where you can make hundreds of mil a week with relatively low effort after the system is completed. So if you're interested in that, check that out, but no pressure. Obviously, this is a tutorial on how to make your first mil. Let's do this one step at a time. Okie doke. So now we got our like 40k here. I think this will be enough, but if not, whatever. I just did chocolate bars, got sick of it, just went back to pie shell so I could watch YouTube. So now we're just going to get on here and I'll start buying all the items we need. So now we need to get our trade restrictions off. So we'll need 100 total level, we'll need 10 quest points, and we'll need 20 hours played. So this is very important because the moneymakers we'll be doing later, which is essentially, you know, just buying stuff from shops and selling it here. The best things I think that are AFK-able for players like to rotate between would be like buying from shops, pie dishes, just rotating back and forth between that, because pie dishes are going to be a limited supply, and then also like shops may not be the best at the time, you know, whatever, you know what I'm saying? There's just a bunch of little things that you do that you're going to rotate between, so we need the trade restrictions off. So first thing we're going to do is cook's assistant. Sorry, I typed cook. I do that all the time. Bucket of milk, so we'll need the items for that. You look up quest guides for this, but I'm just going to kind of run it down a little bit right here. This, I may forget stuff, so like you'll just need to, if you get lost, just look up the quest guide entirely. Also, there's the thing called Quest Helper. Quest Helper, I don't know if you have to download it. Quest Helper is a RuneLite plugin, so for mobile, this isn't really available. Let me just see if it's on here on the... Sorry, let me see if it's here on the plugin. And menu entry swapper might be here too. So Quest Helper, there it is. Yep. So you have to download it from the plugin hub, and then you'll turn it on, and it'll just give you step-by-step instructions on how to get through the quests, and which will get you there. But like how I'm going to do it is going to be like a run that I do this often. So this will be pretty optimized, that like you'll get all the quests done at relatively the same time. So you don't have to like do one, go back to the GE, pick all the items out, do the next one, etc., etc. So now we need Imp Catcher. So we're going to need all the beads. This is what we need a bulk of our money for, because they are kind of expensive. They're like 2k plus each. And sometimes if there's not any on the market, they can skyrocket up. And it just all depends on when you buy them. So we got 3 beads here. We need 4 of them. Bead, 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 bead. We need the yellow bead now. Bam. So we got another one here. And then we're going to do So there's Cook's Assistant, Imp Catcher. Then we're going to be buying a couple things from Drainer Mainer, and then we're going to be doing Vampire Slayer, so let's buy the Vampire Slayer stuff. So it'll be like garlic. Yep. I thought I misspelled it for some reason, but we get a garlic, and we're going to get a normal hammer. This is to drive the stake into him. The garlic is because you'll be fighting a vampire, and then you'll need a beer, but we won't need it. Maybe, nah, whatever. If as long as you carry your cash stack, you can buy a beer from the person in the shop. You can also get garlic upstairs for the quest too, but I just buy this because it's just whatever. So then we got vampire started, and then we need Dork's quest. Or no, let's do Knight's Sword first, because that's the next step. So then we'll need 2 iron bars. Oops, not bars, 1 bar. We'll just buy 2 of them. So we got the iron bars there, and then we'll need a red berry pie for Knight's Sword. You get a pickaxe from Dork. So you don't need to buy a pickaxe. So we'll do Dork's quest is up next. Then we'll need 2 iron, I believe. Iron ore. 2 iron, 4 copper, and 6 clay, I believe, off the top of my head. I don't remember. If I'm wrong, it'll be really annoying, but whatever. I just bought 6 of those, my bad. So then we'll need clay. With 6 of these. Boom. So then the next step would be Goblin Diplomacy, which will be Goblin Mail. You'll need 3 of these. These can really fluctuate in price, so I'm just going to go all the way up to 2,000. And then we're going to get orange dye. Sometimes these don't buy, so you'll have to go make them with a red and a yellow dye. Those seem to buy a lot more often. And then a blue dye. If you can't buy one of these, you go get the woad leaves. You can head to the guy in Falador. There's a farmer there that'll you can convert with woad leaves. So we got that for Goblin Diplomacy, because then we'll teleport, and then we'll run up, and then I think... Oh, right, the last thing I need is salmon. Get about like 10 of these. Or 1. And then some energy potions. All right, and then we need the Staff of Earth to cast Earth Strike, and then we'll get like 100 airs. And 100 mine runes for 100 strike spells. And that should be the whole kit. Right, so we got all this, so then we'll just deposit everything in the bank. So the first thing we'll need right now is Cook's Assistant, Imp Catcher. We'll need the gold. Oops. The clay. The copper ore has to be, or all these ores have to be unnoted, so that has to be in our inventory because we'll be doing that together. Or all these together in one quest. Then we'll bring out Goblin Diplomacy, which we could save a couple slots here. We want to bring all the air runes and mine runes with us. We can equip that. Then we're going to put on our Wind Strike here. And then we're going to... What else do we need to bring with us? We can bring that. Now we'll get that. We'll need 2 bank trips no matter what. So we'll just bring all this stuff. This is what we'll bring. So we'll just bring 3 energy potions and then run it down. So we'll just home teleport to start the quest. The questing. Come over to the cook here. If you go to the first chat option, you just hit 1, hold spacebar down, hit 1 again, and then you can just hand over the ingredients, and then blam, that's done. Hit escape, drop out of that. We'll get our cooking levels, and we'll just move on our way. You'll get punched by a mugger out here, maybe, if you cross paths with them. And then we're on our way to Imp Catcher, which is going to be from the home teleport all the way west here, down this big bridge to the Wizard's Tower. And then blam, you'll have that all done. Because we're just going to run in there, give the beads over, kablam, kerplow. We'll get an aggregate of accuracy, and then we will train our magic up one more level. So we got a bot account there. W6QG4ZLGZTZU0. Kind of funny. Or somebody who just spam the keyboard, you know, technically. So I could be misidentifying there, you know, assuming. So you want to go, give me a quest, please. And then start the quest. So it's 1 spacebar 1, and then you can just hold it again. Hold the spacebar button down, hand the beads over to the guy, and then he'll give you your experience after the cutscene. And then you'll get an amulet of accuracy. This sells for 1k. It'll help you hit a little bit with magic, because it'll increase magic a little bit as well. So we'll come in here, and it looks like that everybody's attacking this lesser demon. So there's an alternate character we could hit. I don't want to waste time, so we're just going to keep going. So there's jailers up in Draenor that we could shoot as well. So we'll just head that direction. Anyway, so the next spot we're going to is Draenor, which is just straight north. Follow the road, fall straight north to the path, or to the town center here, and then there should be a jailer over here that we could shoot, and then kind of get him trapped on a fence or something like that. So we'll shoot him, and we'll just run back to this fence here. I guess he's stuck on the tree already. He's easy to get stuck, so you just get him stuck here on this fence, and then just start shooting him. And then we'll just go up to level 9. That lesser demon might not be camped every world you're on, so that's the easy spot to get it up to level 9. Because what we want to unlock is Earth Strike to speed up Vampire Slayer. So that we will just keep shooting, keep shooting. One more shot here. Boom, we got Earth Strike unlocked. And we're good to go. We'll just take off. We'll stop at the bank, grab more energy potions out. Just refill that. Get our energy bar back up, save some time. Oopsies. So what we want to get here is Goblin Staff. That's not necessary for the quest, but you're going to want it for... you're going to want it for splashing, because there's 2 splashing methods. One of them requires you getting 40 range, and the other one you can do the same day. So the Cursed Goblin Staff, you need that for that. Then we're going to run over to this marker over here. So a little bit north of Diango. We're going to have a little bit north. It'll wrap around, and you'll go through the alley. And you'll come in, and you'll go into this little house here where there's this guy named Morgan. You'll talk to Morgan. What's the problem? Blah, 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 blah. We'll start the adventure. And it's Vampire Slayer. That's where you could go upstairs and get the garlic, but we're just going to ignore that. That's why I said before you can use Quest Helper to do all these quests. But this is just kind of my run because I do this. This is like my thing. I do a lot of free-to-play flipping accounts. So I've done this a million different ways, a million different times. This is kind of just how it's all landed. All the cards have landed in a very optimal way. So now the next step we're going to leave Draenor heading to the west. As you can see from there. We left. We're heading west. We're going to hit this crossroads here where there's a highwayman. We're going to go north there, headed to Falador. And on our way there, you know, there's guards and stuff and whatever. There's nothing really of note. So we're going to go into Falador. And what we're going to be doing here is starting Knight's Sword. So we got to talk to a squire. So once you hit this path here near the East Bank, you're going to head west on I-95 here, where our boy Nerivar 2002 is chilling. And then we're going to head south here. And talk to the squire over here. He'll be like, what's up? I'm really upset. How is the life? I can make you a new sword if you like. So would these dwarves make another one? Yes. Boom. That started. I also want you to note that, like, when you got the quest assistant or the quest helper on, you could switch by right-clicking. If you go to the quests here, you can right-click and then hit start on whatever you're working on. So if you really wanted to just, like, do it that way, you could So now I'm on the new quest. So, you know, it wants me to go to Varrock Castle to talk to whatever. But we're not doing that. We're going all the way up here. We're going to go to Dorix, which is if you leave the castle and exit Falador to the north, there's a path that you go up there to the fork of the road. You turn left. You keep going north to this anvil up here. And that's going to be where Doric's at. So Doric will be up here, and he has anvils that you don't like, that he doesn't like people using unless you help him out. So if you come up here and talk to him, ask him if you want to use his anvils, start the quest. He'll be like, where'd you get that from? He's going to give you that pickaxe. Boom. Now you got 10 mining. We could do Knight's Sword now. So now we're going to get Goblin Diplomacy done because I think we're like a quest shy. Or we might have enough quest points, but like I just picked this up because this is here. And it saves us a little bit of time with the, because I think the quest that I'm doing only gets us to 97 or 98 or something like that. I don't remember off the top of my head. But we just do this here because, whoops, I shot a goblin. That's a little annoying. We just do this quest here because it gives us a couple crafting levels and it just rounds us off to a nice even 100. It's just really, it's just super simple. So, so you click one of the generals. There's 2 generals in here. You can do either of them and then just hit 3, and then start the quest. He'll ask you what one to try first. If you have the orange one in your inventory, they'll try it out. So then you'll go through the cutscene, and then this will be done. You'll talk to the same guys again. They might like get into an argument with each other, call each other fat or something like that. Yep. So you just choose any of them at that point, and then you can go one again because now you have the blue armor. Go through the same cutscene again. Go through the same chat options after all this is done. Then they'll ask for brown armor, which is what they'll settle on. Which is, finishes the quest, and then we can begin the next segment. Boom, 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 boom. He's fat again. It doesn't do that every single time, so it just kind of throws me off sometimes. But yeah. So now he's going to put on the brown armor. Lo and behold, that's the one they want. They'll make fun of you or something like that. And then you'll say thanks, I think. And then, boom. Get your crafting experience. Now we're done with that. We'll teleport using the Chronicle to the Champions Guild. So then north from the Champions Guild, if you look on the map here, we're south of Varrock. We're going to go to the Blue Moon Inn, which is the pub right there. And the first thing we're going to do there is grab a beer from the bartender. So once I get the beer from the bartender here, last year found a sale, please, blah, 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 boom, get it, talk to him. You're going to say, Morgan needs your help, which is the second thingy, majigger, and then he wants a drink anyway, so that you have the beer, and then boom, talk to him, he'll give you a steak, and once you see the steak in your inventory, you can just leave the conversation and run away. Head north. We're going to go to Reldo at the Varrock Castle in the library. So here's the Varrock Center. You can do Romeo and Juliet here as well, but whatever. It's all up to you, whatever path you want to take. Or start it and then get it done. That's 5 quest points, but it doesn't give you any skills. So, like, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. Maybe not doing it exactly like run might be a little bit better for you because of the Faust Band chances that might happen. You might want to skill 10 levels instead of doing this or that or whatever you want to do. This is just an example for you guys quickly as I can put it together. So, you talk to him. What do you know about the Mikado dwarves? And then you need a red berry pie. So at this point, now we're going to go finish off Vampire Slayer and then go into Knight's Sword. So to finish off Vampire Slayer, we need a bunch of that stuff from the bank. We don't need the gold bar in our inventory anymore, but whatever. I guess I needed more energy potions, so maybe buying 20 energy potions will be enough to get this quest run done. It seems you only need about 20k to get everything that you need for the quest, so you could have cut off when I went a little bit overboard, but it doesn't matter. A little bit of extra money will help you anyway. So we need a red berry pie, we need the iron bars, we need the hammer, we need the garlic, and we need the pike. We need the food. Because there's 2 ways to do it. There's 2 ways to kill this vampire. You can either fight him and tank it. That's enough salmon. About 10 salmon should easily cover the fight and win with Earth Strike. Don't think it'll be a little bit more difficult to kill him with airstrike, but then it will be we'll if you wanted to use airstrike, you don't want to get up the earth strike, then I'll show you the second method, which is a safe spot. So anyway, sorry, I forgot to explain where we're going. So you leave down south where you came in, and then you head over to the west bank, and then you leave out the west path, and we're going back to where the stronghold of security was, and then we're going to head south again from the south stronghold of security, follow that river down again, because we're trying to get to this place here, Drainer Manor. So we're going to follow along this fence line here, you know, follow the river until we hit the fence line, then hug the fence line all the way into the path. And, you know, if you're doing the quests or whatever, you get your trade restricts unlocked, you've been playing for a while, you got magic levels to teleport. There's a lot of things that are, like, better for optimizations, like teleports and stuff. But this is, like, the best I've been able to figure it out from a fresh player with no teleports and stuff like that. This cycle has been doing me really, really well. It hasn't really failed me. You can get it done in, like, half an hour or whatever, as you're seeing here. I know this is going to be a longer guide, but I just want it to be, like, you know, I took the liberty of making this guide from the perspective as trying to help somebody who's never played before as much as possible. And I know I could always do it better. And, you know, as I'm doing it, this is my second take because my first take was bad. I forgot a lot of steps that were relevant to a player. Like Shaman's 21466 here might be a real person not understanding that you need to get the key to get into that place here. So, you know, you need to get the spade and then go out there for Ernest the chicken. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to make sure that nobody gets left behind. And the people who would be clicking on this video because they want to make their first 1 mil probably need these steps in it. I am kind of just like filler talking right now to get here. So we can do the fight. I'll show you the safe spot. So come up here. This vampire does a max hit of 3. So at 3, you need to heal. But you'll just walk underneath. And there's a 33% chance for him to go north. So at 3, you need to heal, but heal it wherever you feel comfortable healing. So he went north there so that I could step over to the right, and now I can just safe spot him. So as you can see, you only need about 3 salmon to do that fight, or to do this part of the fight, but if you wanted to just tank him and fight him, then 10 salmon should get the fight done, because as you can see, Earth Strike does, like, wreck this vampire's face. So we're just going to wait for the vampire to get finished off here. Shouldn't take too much longer, and then we'll go to the Knight Sword segment, which is going to be a lot more running. So personally, I probably should have had a lot more energy potions to do that part of the quest. So the next part of the quest here, we're going to be leaving, which is through this door, out the side door here. That's the only way you can get out of Drainer Manor. And we're going to come around here. We're going to wrap around these woods, because then if you just click down south, he'll path through the opening that is in the woods that's not very apparent. Like, you can't really just see it. There's like a path. It's like a maze to get out of here. And then we will start walking down. So while I'm doing this, I'll just have another account come through with energy potions. So you're going to head south of the Drainer Manor, and you're going to just keep heading south until you hit that road, that fork in the fork of the road again. There'll be a highwayman there, and then you'll head west again. And that'll take you right back towards Falador again. And from there, we're going to go south-ish from Falador. We're going to go here, we're Port Sarum here. We're going to, like, get to this fork in the road again. Instead of heading north to Falador, we're going to go south, straight south here. As you can see, this arrow's pointing. We'll go through this, like, these woods, and then we will hit up, Thurgo, I believe his name is. Please excuse me, though. I'm just getting my main account online so that I can run some energy potions down and finish this quest up in one take. So there's Port Sarum, here's the woods, whatever, you just head south. We're coming into Thurgo. When you're talking to him, you want to give him your pie right away. Don't eat your pie. That'll ruin everything. He's going to want you to go get a portrait, so then you're going to have to go up to Falador. We're going to head back north to the Falador Castle to then get the portrait from the Squire. Okay, so we're coming to the Falador Castle again. We'll talk to the Squire. So then we got to sneak into his bedroom. So you go through these 2 doors here, 3 doors, go up this ladder. Then there'll be a staircase to the west. Open this door, staircase. And since he's out of this room, that's good. Just keep hopping worlds until he's not in the room. Because if he's standing in the room with you and you try to steal it, he'll stop you. So then, boom, you got it. So we run back to the dwarf. So we'll head back down the stairs, come through the same whatever, come down the ladder, exit the rooms here. So now that we're down here, I was going to go talk to him, but I already know what he's going to tell me to do. You don't need to talk to him. It's better to have the blue right and then go talk to him, and then you can talk to him again and have him make the sword and just go back. So we're just going to go get the blue right right now. So essentially you come down here, and I tried saving some run energy because we're going to need some. Looks like they updated this, so there's some sort of tunnel shortcut thing. It's kind of cool. Anyway, so we have muggers and pirates through here, so they're going to turn your sprint on. This is why we want to save our food too, so we can get through here. Put your defenses back on. So this is where it's going to get kind of tricky. You got to sneak through. So if you run in, you might get hit. Their max hit's like 9, I think. So you want to eat every single time. So just run in and just mine the blue right. If they camp you, like this guy here might come down and aggro on you, just keep hopping worlds until it's clear. Sometimes it's fast, sometimes it's not. And if like you're unconfident in this part too, don't even do Knight's Sword. Just go right to pies and just get a bunch of splash gear and just splash your magic up the levels that you'd get. Because you'll be like going for 55 magic anyway. I would want you to, because it's one of the best free-to-play moneymakers in the game. Now we're out of run energy again. And come talk to Thurgo. Okay, so you can just talk to him again. You got the sword. Go north. Back to Falador Castle and hand the sword in. Okay, so now we're back here. We'll just turn it back in. Boom, boom, boom. Blam. So now we have that quest done. We have 101 total level. So getting the magic to 9 did give us 1 extra level, but that rounds us off really nice right there. Now we have the 12 quest points, 2 extra, whatever, who cares? We got the 100 total level there. And then now the last thing we need is just 20 hours playtime. So how you're going to do that is simple. So you can either just play the game, or if you don't want to really do that, you just want to get the trade unlock and then go right into like flipping or something like that. You can find yourself a rat or a chicken. I think there's a chicken here. And you just go to here, turn your auto retaliate off, punch the chicken once, go leash him somewhere kind of like private looking, like over here maybe. Wherever you can get him to go. You can do this with rats. You can do this with chickens because they can't actually deal any damage. Shut the door so it's like less of a chance that you'll get griefed. And then just kind of stand here. And then you'll stay logged in for 6 hours. So you can do that just 3-4 times. I think like here so far we're at 2 hours in. So just 3 times. So you don't do it like when you go to bed. As long as you're not griefed. Just go find some place private or whatever. And then you can get your 20-hour playtime doing that. It's very simple. 6 hours, unless you get griefed. But then, but it's 0 time, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's easy peasy. Just go find a rat in a sewer somewhere. Go find, like, in some house. Chickens, spiders, the level 1 spiders, like in the Lumberge basement. All these places you can just go box and then get your playtime up. So now we got that done. All right, why am I walking? We're going to go back to GE. And you're essentially going to rinse and repeat pie dishes, chocolate bars until you get your restrictions off. And I will just hop onto another account so I can show you the next step of what you're going to do to get your first million. That we want to be buying from. This is the main one right here. This is the first one I'm going to show you. This is Port Sarum fishing store. And essentially what you're going to do is try to find yourself a world where there's not like 50 million other botters or players camping it, because this is one of the best monies for free to play. And you're going to look at these feather packs. You look at these bait packs here. Bait pack costs 300 coins each, and these cost 200 coins each. And I'm pretty sure if you buy one, it goes up like 2 GP or something like that. If we buy 10 here, it goes up whatever, 2 each, 10, well, whatever. It goes up a little bit. 3 each? Yeah, 3 each there for the bait packs, and then 2 each here for every feather pack. So what you're going to want to do is going to buy 10 each of these packs, and you're going to open them. So you could do them 2 ways. Well, there's 3 ways to do this, actually. So you could do a completely AFK method, but you'll make less money per hour, but it'll be more AFK. So if you talk to this guy and you buy 10 feather packs, you can buy 10 more and just fill up the whole inventory. And as you can see, it makes the feathers worth about 0.75 per feather. So if you click the box per 1 or 2 ticks, it'll open the feather packs for you. As you can see, I'm not touching anything. It's opening all of them for you. So if you're just watching TV, you could do this for whatever amount of time, and it just will seem like you're not making, you're not really putting any effort into it. About 20 to 30 seconds later, you can go back into the store and purchase them again. Now, if you want a little bit more intensity with it, you could just go in there and then buy 10 at a time, because that makes all the feathers 0.9 each. So that's like 0.9 profit per feather. So then you can do it 10 seconds at a time, roughly, instead of 20 seconds at a time, roughly. So then like another variation of this would be to purchase 10 of each, because then you get that optimal price point for each of these, whatever. But then you just, you wait for it to go down, to count down, and then you go to the bait pack and then open them when the feather packs are done. So there's pros and cons to each of these items. The pros being for feathers is that they sell very quickly. They're very profitable. You make like 240 to 350k an hour just opening these packs. But they're heavily competed for. They sell really fast, the feather packs do, but they're heavily competed for. Also, I just want to say the last thing you could do is, like, when you're buying the packs, you can just open them like speed. You can speed open them up, because then it'll open it twice as fast if you want to like do a high intensity. So then the high intensity version would be buying 10 of each of these and then just spamming through them and just opening the packs. The packs will always profit, so I don't even think you should really worry about that. Other things to note about this is that the baits here, if we pull up my tracker here, 07.gg market scanner. This is what I use to find items to buy and sell. You'll be needing something like this too if you plan on getting into flipping, which I think you should. So then we're gonna look up bait here, fishing bait. As you can see, it's sold for 6 at one point. But we're gonna pull up the graph here, and it goes. It sells at the bottom. It insta sells at 4. And then it takes a little bit to sell at 5. And then you can see here that we have periods where it spikes up a lot higher, but it is very, very stable. So you can get 4 for it almost indefinitely, but you can get 5 for it. So if we look at the price of fishing bait in here, you can see 300 and you're getting 100 each. You're making more. You're making about 2, like 1.5 to 2 per bait pack versus the feathers. Now, the thing is that feathers sell a lot more quickly, so you'll be able to run this to the Grand Exchange, sell them, get your money back, run back down to the feather store, and then keep doing it over and over again. Bait, on the other hand, will sell a little bit slower. So that's just the 2 differences between these 2 items here. But this will get you to your 1 mil relatively quickly. 3 to 4 hours of rotating between pie dishes, putting your offers in. So I'll just show you what you're going to do. So you're going to sit here and you're going to buy your packs until you use up all your cash stack, maybe save like 20k so that you can buy pie dishes and stuff. While you're waiting for your pie dishes to reach their buy limits, you can be doing this. And then while you're waiting for pie dishes and need a little bit more money to go buy more stuff while you're waiting, you can do chocolate bars and just rotate between those 3 things, and you will have your first mill within not very long. So let's see if they insta sell at 4. I believe they insta sell at 4. So if they insta sell at 4, that means you profit. You can immediately take your GP back down there and then go and flip it again. They sold at 5. They insta sold at 5. So right now I just made... I probably spent like 15K on that because I think I started my stack with 4770 or whatever. I'll just sell these back and take the loss. Because yeah, I was at 4,000. I made whatever. Anyway, don't sell these feathers at 2. Sell them at 3. Let them sit. They'll sell like within an hour. But then while you're waiting, you just go in there. You get your pie shells, your pie dishes. Sorry, I keep mixing those up all the time. And you know, buy them. You know, put your offers in for get your whatever you have left in your 4-hour buy limit. And then get the pastry doughs and then sit here and just work that while you're waiting. Keep building your bank up. Get to your first mill. That'll get you to your first mill in 4 hours max. For, let's say, 5 hours. 5 hours will get you your first mill max because, like, if you look at the free-to-play moneymakers, making pie shells is 451K an hour. So that is ideal conditions. The caveat here is that you can make 500 at a time, so it's only going to be 221K, or sorry, 92,000 profit after tax. But you can make a lot more pie shells. I wish I would tell you. 2450 here. Okay, so 2450 you can make per hour. So if you bought that ahead of time, you could make profit of 450K for that hour. So if you that is 5 buy limits, so that's only 1 day of waiting. So there's your first $500,000 just in 1 day, and then the rest of the money can be made through buying feathers. As if we look here, buying feathers should be really high. Grinding chocolate bars is 279K, so rotating between that and buying feather packs here, and buying jugs. Fishing bait, I'm surprised is not on here, but you can buy feathers packs, and you can purchase about 2,500 or 2,600 feather packs, and you'll make 230K per hour. So you'll be doing this while you're waiting for your pie dishes to come through, and buying the bait as well. So that's how you get to your first mill. Hope this helps. Please subscribe. Check out the links down below. Whatever, all that good stuff. If you got any questions, leave a comment down below. Join the Discord. Do whatever you got to do. This will get you to your first mill. Get your trade locked. Have a nice day.